Now we saw about the dependent agent PE under paragraph 4. But the starting point of that paragraph was that if an agent falls within the provision of paragraph 5, then that paragraph is not applicable. Right? So let's see what paragraph 5 says. Paragraph 5 deals with independent agent. If you are an independent agent, you cannot form an agency PE. You may be a PE under some other paragraph, whether it's a fixed place PE, a construction, installation, or whatever kind of PE might be there. But you cannot form an agency PE if you are covered by the provision of paragraph 5. So let us see this. An enterprise of a contracting state. Again, let's say a US co is there and an Indian company is there. An enterprise of a contracting state, the US company, shall not be deemed to have a permanent establishment in the other contracting state. The US company will not be deemed to having a PE in India merely because it carries on business in that other state. Even if the US company is carrying on business in India, it will not be considered as having a PE in India if the business is carried on in India through a broker, general commission agent, or any other agent of independent status. Right? Now, this word independent status equally applies to the word broker and general commission agent also. So if they are independent, only then this is applicable. Right? So if this US company is acting in India either through a broker, a general commission agent, or any other agent of an independent status, it will not be deemed to have a PE just because it is operating through one of these agents. Provided, however, this is subject to the conditions that such person are acting in the ordinary course of their business. What ordinary course of business implies here is that if a person is an agent, right, he's actually acting as an agent for several people. It's his business. The business is that of an agent, right? If he's acting ordinarily as an agent, then he will not be treated as a PE of someone else. But if he's not ordinarily acting, then he might become a PE, right? And when do those conditions arise? That's the answer which we get in the next paragraph. However, when the activities of such agent are devoted wholly, 100%, or almost wholly, 90% or more, right, on behalf of that enterprise. So if this agent, okay, which is sought to be made a PE, is completely dependent on the non-resident or almost wholly dependent on the non-resident, right, because his activities are on behalf of the non-resident only, and the transaction between the agent and enterprise are not made under arm's length conditions. Now, this particular line you will not find in most of the treaties, right? This is a specific feature of this particular treaty. What this line does is that even if the agent is wholly or almost wholly acting on behalf of the foreign enterprise, if he's paid an arm's length commission or arm's length remuneration, right, then he will not be treated as a PE. So one, if I have to put it, point A is generally a foreign company operating in the source state through a broker, general commission agent, or any other agent of independent status will not be treated as having a PE just because it is operating through that agent, on the condition that the agents are acting in the ordinary course of business, right? But in case of an agent who is working wholly or almost wholly on behalf of the non-resident, this exception will not apply. Generally, this article ends there. But in the India-US treaty, they've specifically mentioned that there is an additional condition If you do not satisfy that condition, plus you do not satisfy the condition of dependency on a wholly or almost wholly basis, it is only then that you become an agent of dependent status. He shall not be considered an agent of independent status within the meaning of this paragraph. So if I have to break this down in terms of the conditions, the first is the foreign enterprise operates through a broker, general commission agent, or any other agent of independent status. Such a person is acting in the ordinary course of their business, right? But if these two conditions are satisfied, no PE. However, additionally, you also need to see the operations of the agent. If the activities are devoted wholly or almost wholly on behalf of the non-resident, and the transaction between the agent and the enterprise are not made at arm's length. So if these two conditions are satisfied cumulatively, then it will not be treated as an agent of independent status.